All praises are for Almighty Allah, the all-powerful one, the one who is omnipotent. Whatever He wishes to do, He can do. Nothing is out of the possibilities when it comes to that which He wishes. Whatever He wills, whatever He wishes, He has the ability to act upon that. From amongst those are those things which defy science. The laws of science that we have, the laws of physics, the laws of gravity that we have, it tells us one thing, but the Creator, the one who gave us those laws, the ones who created us, if He wants to do something which defies that, something that goes against that, that is His wish, that is His choice. When it came to the miraculous night journey, Al-Isra' wal-Mi'raj, the Prophet ﷺ was taken on a journey which by the laws of science, by our normal understanding, is impossible. That which is impossible falls into the category and chapter of miracle. So the Quran explains that Almighty Allah, Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-harami ila al-masjid al-aqsa. That glory be to Almighty Allah who took His servant. Straight away Almighty Allah is informing us that who took His servant? The all-powerful one. This journey that took place, before you start doing the calculations of physics as to how can this be done, how is it possible to travel such speed, such distance in such a short period of time, look at who took His servant. Here the servant did not travel himself, but rather the Creator Himself, He took His servant on this journey. And who is our Creator? Subhanalladhi, the one who is free from all defects, the one who is free from all weaknesses. That Creator is the one who took His servant from Al-Masjid al-Haram in Mecca all the way to Al-Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem. That is known as Al-Isra, the journey that took place, Al-Isra. But the journey didn't stop there. Then Al-Mi'raj took place. From there the ascension took place to the first sky, to the second sky, to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. There the Prophet ﷺ was shown Jannah, Jahannam. He reached Sidratul Muntaha, the low tree. But then didn't even stop there. Continued until he reached a point that even Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam remained behind because he was not given the permission to enter. The power of the light of Almighty Allah was so powerful that Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam, if he was to take even one step forward, he would turn into ashes. So then he reached sallallahu alayhi wasallam at that place which is la makan, where there is no place, which in Surah An-Najm is referred to as Qaba Qawsaini aw Adna. That is how close he became to that Creator who is not bound by time, that Creator who is not bound by space. He is free from time, He is free from space. But this journey took place to show the power of Almighty Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ was brought to that place where nobody else from the rest of the creation has been, to show the greatness of the Prophet ﷺ. But now at that point, and inshallah the details of this journey will be explained in our event tomorrow. All the details will be presented. But what I want to focus on here is that when the conversation took place, the private conversation between Almighty Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, gifts were showered upon the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But from amongst those gifts were two verses of the Quran. The last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. The last two verses. Remember, when it comes to Surah Al-Baqarah and the rest of the entire Quran, Sayyiduna Jibreel alayhi salam comes and he gives the revelation to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But when it came to the last two verses of the Quran, Sayyiduna Jibreel alayhi salam wasn't there. When it came to the last two verses of the Quran, even though the rest of the Quran was revealed in this world, Sayyiduna Jibreel alayhi salam would come to this dunya and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would receive the revelation. Whenever the revelation would come, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was within this dunya. But when it came to the last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 285 and 286, the final two verses, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not in the dunya. Almighty Allah took him on this journey to that place which is beyond space, beyond the skies, beyond the heavens. And when he reached that place, he bestowed these two special verses upon his beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you can imagine that these two verses are no ordinary verses. If they are being revealed there, not in the dunya, you can imagine the greatness of these two verses. This is why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about these two verses, as the hadith mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari, من قرأ بالآيتين من آخر سورة البقرة في ليلة كفتاه. Whoever recites these two verses at night, it will suffice for that individual. He will be protected, she will be protected from all evil, all harm, all magic, all jinns, whatever it may be. This will suffice for that individual. Likewise, whatever needs the individual has, whatever hardships need to be removed, these two verses will suffice for that individual. The condition is to read these two verses. So now, what are these two verses that were revealed upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Now imagine, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is there, conversing with our Creator, Almighty Allah, who is free from speech, who is free from form, who is free from direction, who is free from time, who is free from space. And then Almighty Allah reveals, آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون. The messenger has believed in that which was revealed from his Lord, and so have the believers also believed. This is the initial statement. Almighty Allah isn't saying, oh my beloved, you have believed. Amanta. No. Aman al-Rasulu. The title of messengership has been given. Even though he is addressing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam who is right in front of him. This revelation is coming directly. But still he is saying that the messenger, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has believed in that which has been revealed to him, the Quran, because he is the last and final chosen prophet, and the Quran that has been revealed to him, he believes in it. He is a true believer. But not only him, وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ, the believers, those that accept Islam, they have also believed in Almighty Allah. They have also believed in the Quran. But here it's been separated. آمَنَ الرَّسُولُ, then later it says وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The Prophet has believed, and then at the end of this sentence, and the believers have believed. The separation is there to show that no matter how strong our iman is, it is nothing compared to the iman of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That separation is to show the difference, the distinction between the iman, the belief of the prophets. They have the highest level of belief and faith, and then after them come the believers like us. So آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله. Each one of them, Each one of those that are believers, those that submit to Almighty Allah, what do they believe in? Kullun amana. Each one of them believe billahi, in Almighty Allah, wa malaikatihi, and all of His angels, wa kutubihi, and all of His books, wa rusulih, and each and every one of His messengers. The Jews rejected Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. The Christians, they rejected Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But when it came to us, when it came to the final nation, we accepted Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We accepted Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. We accepted Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, going all the way to Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. We accepted all of the prophets. We did not reject any of the prophets. We believed in the angels, and we believe in the angels. But when it came to the Jews, many of them started to say that the angels were the daughters of Almighty Allah. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. The daughters. They started to have different beliefs and started to change the true Islamic belief that was given to them at that time. But when it came to us, we said that we believe that the angels are a special creation of Almighty Allah, made from light. They are free from sin, and they are there to serve His Creator, their Creator, Almighty Allah. Wa kutubihi, we believe in all of the books of Almighty Allah. The 4 major books and 100 small scriptures. All 104 books that were revealed to this creation, we believe in them all. The 4 major books, concluding with the Quran, and all the small scriptures, we believe in them. But the previous generations, those that came before us, they rejected certain things, accepted certain things. But we are from amongst those that accepted all of the books, all of the scriptures. Not only that, وَرُسُلِهِ, and believed in all of the messengers and prophets sent down. Then Almighty Allah continues the verse, لَا نُفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِّن رُسُلِهِ, that we do not make any distinction between the messengers and prophets. Meaning they are all prophets, they are all messengers. We do not exclude one over the other, the way the Jews did, the way the Christians did. We don't do that. We accept them all to be prophets and messengers. There were approximately 124,000 prophets. From amongst them there were approximately 313 messengers. We believe in them all. If a Muslim rejects any one of the prophets or messengers, that individual is not a Muslim anymore. We accept all of those messengers and all of those prophets sent by Almighty Allah. وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا غُفْرَانَكَ رَبَّنَا وَإِلَيْكَ الْمَصِيرُ. What do the believers say? سَمِعْنَا, O our Creator, we have heard the message that has come. سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا, and we obey that which you have commanded us to obey. The previous generations, they would listen, but what would they say? That we have rejected your command, we disobey you. But when it came to this ummah, we say sami'na wa ata'na, we have heard, O Allah, but we also obey and accept everything that you have bestowed upon us. And then what? غُفْرَانَكَ رَبَّنَا وَإِلَيْكَ الْمَصِيرُ. We seek. Here غُفْرَانَكَ means نَطْلُبُ غُفْرَانَكَ. We seek. نَطْلُبُ here is hidden in the text. We seek what? غُفْرَانَكَ, your forgiveness, your pardon. And to you we shall return. To you we shall return. This is the first part. Then the second ayah. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها The previous nations, they were given a lot of rules which they took as hardship. It was too much for them. If there was impurity on a piece of cloth, you couldn't wash it. You must either burn it or cut it off. This was the extent. We can wash it, remove the impurity that's on our clothes. They had to either burn it or cut it. So they had those laws which were taken that were very strict due to the need at that time. But when it came to us, Almighty Allah states, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. That I will not, the Creator is saying, that Allah does not burden anybody except with that which he or she can tolerate. Whatever each person can tolerate, that's how much Almighty Allah will test you. Not more than what you can tolerate. Allah will make it easy. So whenever any hardship comes into our lives and we think this is too much for us, no. In reality, Allah knows how much we can tolerate. The fact that we can tolerate such a high level of test from Almighty Allah shows how much greatness Allah has bestowed upon us. The greater the individual in the sight of Allah, the greater the test. This is why the prophets and messengers had the most difficult test, the most severe test. Our tests are nothing compared to their test. But whatever the test may be, you may start to lose hope. But remember, that test has been given to you based on what you can actually tolerate. So if you think you cannot tolerate it, you've underestimated your own ability. Allah knows your ability, and therefore He has tested you based on that ability. لَهَا مَا كَسَبَتْ وَعَلَيْهَا مَا اكْتَسَبَتْ. Whatever good deeds a person will earn, he will be rewarded based on that. وَعَلَيْهَا مَا اكْتَسَبَتْ. And whatever evil, whatever bad deeds the person earns and does, based on that the person will be held accountable. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. ربنا, now the dua starts. Oh Allah, ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. Oh Allah, Allah is bestowing this dua so that we can make this. Oh Allah, if we forget or if we have a slip up, if we make a mistake, do not hold us accountable. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam was tested in Jannah. And for over 300 years, he turned to Almighty Allah seeking forgiveness, and then Almighty Allah forgave Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. But here a special gift has been given, that if we make a mistake out of forgetfulness, we won't be held accountable. But the previous nations, they were held accountable. If we have a minor slip up, we will not be held accountable compared to those that came before us who will be held accountable. Obviously, if we commit that which is a sin, we will be held accountable. But a minor scholarly mistake, a wrong judgment, this is better or this is better, you make the wrong choice, you choose the lesser of the two greater things, you won't be held accountable. This is a gift bestowed by Almighty Allah upon us. But then it continues, رَبَّنَا وَلَا تَحْمِلْ عَلَيْنَا إِصْرًا كَمَا حَمَلْتَهُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِنَا. Oh Allah, the way that you bestowed the tests or burdens upon those that came before us, do not do that upon us. Make it easy for us. Whatever you do test us, make it easier for us. So this is our ability. Oh Allah, make sure our test is below our ability. And in reality we see that is the case. But we think our ability is all the way down here, where in reality Allah knows it's here and He's testing us below our actual ability. And then the ayah concludes, رَبَّنَا وَلَا تُحَمِّلْنَا مَا لَا طَاقَةَ لَنَا بِهِ. Oh Allah, do not put that burden upon us for which we do not have any power over. وَاعْفُ عَنَّا, pardon us. وَاغْفِرْ لَنَا, forgive us. وَارْحَمْنَا, and shower your mercy upon us. The first, pardon us, means whatever mistake if we do make, oh Allah, pardon it. Waghfir lana, forgive us, meaning do not expose us in front of the dunya. That's what forgiveness means here. Warhamna, and shower your mercy upon us so that we don't commit this mistake again in the future. This is the explanation of these three parts. Fa'fu anna waghfir lana warhamna anta maulana. Oh Allah, you are our protector. You are our protector. Without your help, we can't do anything. With your help, nobody can do anything to us. You are the protector of protectors. If you protect us, we are safe. If you don't protect us, we are ruined. فَانصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ. Oh Allah, help us against the group of non-Muslims. Those non-Muslims that are trying to do harm to Islam, trying to do harm to the Muslims. Oh Allah, you provide us your special help so that we can ultimately succeed. These two verses were revealed on the night journey outside of this dunya. And these two verses are the only verses that were revealed outside of this dunya. And it was a special gift given to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and each and every one of us. May Allah give us all the ability to memorize it and to read it every single day so that we are protected. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينَ.